Thank you, sir. Honorable Shri Prabhat Kumar ji, who was chairman of FCI in 1994 when I was director of food for undivided Madhya Pradesh, and I have worked under his guidance there. Our leader, Mr. B.C. Gupta, Secretary Food, Government of India, my colleague, Mr. Rajkumar, gentlemen from NIC, Mr. Sukumaran, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start on exactly telling you what PDS is about in Chhattisgarh, very quick 2-3 slides on Chhattisgarh. This waterfall that you see is an actual waterfall in Bastar. It's called Chitrakoot, one of the best waterfalls. They say that the maximum number of water volume falls down from any waterfall in the country is Chitrakoot waterfall, which was this. Chhattisgarh was carved on 1st of November as the 26th state of the country, and contrary to the popular opinion, it's not a small state. Area-wise, it is the 9th largest in the country. We have 50% area under forest, and we are proud of it. The population is about 2.55 lakhs. It's predominantly a tribal state. 1/3 of the population is tribals. Scheduled castes account for 12%. BPL population, as per the Government of India records, is 42%. We have one of the best gender ratios. This shows how empowered the women in Chhattisgarh are. We have 18 districts, 146 blocks, more than half, 85 blocks are tribal blocks, more than 20,000 villages. Now, beneficiaries of PDS. As Prabhat Kumar ji said, and Secretary Saab also said, the Government of India has given us a list of 19 lakh people, and which is based on the BPL survey which was done in 2002. What is Antyodaya? Antyodaya are poorest of the poor. Poorest of the poor are Antyodaya, who are given even more subsidized. Annapurna are those people who are old age people, but poorest of the old age people are given 10 kg of food grain free of cost. So Government of India says you give to only 19 lakh families. But our cabinet, in its wisdom, thought that the Government of India system of survey of BPL was very defective in 2002. There were a lot of litigations right up to the Supreme Court, and our cabinet thought that we must have another supplementary list, and those people will be called Mukhyamantri Khadyan Sahayata Yojana. MKSY stands for Mukhyamantri Khadyan Sahayata Yojana. And which people will be added? The supplementary people will be those people who were below poverty line in the last two surveys of 1997. As you all know, every 5 years the Planning Commission conducts a BPL survey. So in 1997 and 91 there were surveys, there were people in the BPL list, they were left out in 2002. Our cabinet in its wisdom thought that they also deserve to be in the BPL list. Then there were some people getting old age pension, they were also left out in the 2002 survey. We added them also. Then we conducted a survey of the disabled people, and those who did not have cards, we found 31,000 people. And what is PTG? PTG is the primitive tribal groups like Aguj Madiyas in Bastar, like Baigas in the hills of Kemor region, and like Pahadi Korwas in the region of Sarguja. Those people were also unfortunately left out. So 15,000 of them we added. So in the Government of India list, we have added another 13.5 lakhs. So that makes about 32.5 lakh people whom we are benefiting by PDS, and that covers about 68%. Prabhat Kumar sir just said there are a lot of exclusion errors. So we have minimized the exclusion errors and really worked in the field of food security. Now what is an entitlement of a person? 35 kg, as against many states which are giving 25 kg, we gave 35 kg of food grains at 1 rupee a kg. For 35 rupees, poorest of the poor person can get for full month's quota of this food grain for just 35 rupees. Persons who are poor but not so poor will get it for 70 rupees. We also give 2 kg of iodized salt packed free of cost to all of them. 3 liters of kerosene at the rate decided by the Ministry of Petroleum here, Sugar is given at the rate of 1.3 kg per family, and to that in the last, as we have added 1 kg of gram, which is grown in Chhattisgarh, black gram, to almost 5 lakh families of Bastar division. This we have started very recently. I'll come to that in the next slide. Now, why iodized salt? You might have all heard, gentlemen, that for ages, for decades and centuries, the tribals in Bastar and the tribals in the central part of the country, they were being taken for a ride. They'll have to bring 1 kg of chironji to get 1 kg of salt. So our Chief Minister thought that we must we must supply them salt. And why iodized salt? Because goiter was very predominant. And we have started giving 2 kg of iodized salt for the last 7 years, uninterrupted. And how do we do it? We get 3 rakes of salt from Gujarat, Bikapoor and Anand, and we get 1 rake in Bastar division, 1 rake in Sarguja area, which is another tribal area. If you see our slide of this Chhattisgarh, the top region is Sarguja, the bottom region is Bastar. And this pointer is actually not working. This region is Bastar, which is all predominantly tribal, and this region is Sarguja, which is also predominantly tribal. And this middle portion is the developed area where Raipur, Bhilai, Durg, Bilaspur, Jhansi, Raigad, all these areas fall. This area is rich in coal, which supplies about 25% of the coal in the country, and this area is very rich in iron ore, which supplies about 25% of iron ore to the country. So we get 1 rake here in the top, 1 rake in the middle, and 1 rake in the southern portion. So this is the salt story. And we have also started this black gram, which is grown locally. We procure it, and our cost is about 30 rupees a kg, but we supply to the poor tribals for 5 rupees a kg. This scheme has been taken up very well. We are going to roll out to the entire state very shortly, maybe just before elections, because politicians tend to think in those terms. And it will be very helpful in combating malnutrition in Bastar. And this scheme is being taken up very well. So now what is the PDS in Chhattisgarh? All told, every month 1,20,000 tons of rice, 28,000 tons of wheat, about 1 crore 55 lakh liters of kerosene to be distributed, 6,300 tons of iodized salt, 4,170 tons of sugar to 32.6 lakh card holders. The total subsidy involved, we spend about 1,000 crores from the state exchequer, and Sir sends from Delhi about 2,000 crores. So 3,000 crores of subsidy is given to the poor people of Chhattisgarh every year through PDS. And our effort is to bring it to the poor without any pilferage. Now, what has been the historical baggage before we started the reforms? The reach was very limited. People had to walk for 40 kilometers at times. The monthly allocation was very delayed. There was a delay in lifting. There were diversions on the way. The ration cards were fake. And even if a person wanted to run a ration card, honestly, he could not have done it. It was unviable. There was no accountability at any level, no community participation, as Prabhat Kumar Sir said, and there was no transparency. What was our first step? And that, I think, was a turning point. In the cabinet, where I was also a privy, there was a heated discussion, and finally we decided that there will be no privately run shop in the state. There were as many as 2,800 private shopkeepers. We gave them a go-by in one go. They went to the Honorable High Court of Bilaspur. There were 400 petitions, and we fought for good 9 months. And finally, we won in September, and all our shops came to the other fold. And what are those folds? Now the shops have also increased from 8,500. We have increased to almost 11,000. One in every Gram Panchayat, and that, by the way, is the Supreme Court order also now. I don't know how many states are following it. Cooperative societies, mostly the primary agriculture cooperative societies are running 4,300 shops. Gram Panchayats are running 4,000 shops. Women self-help groups, they are not registered anywhere, but they are running shops. And the forest protection committees, deep in the jungles of Bastar and Sarguja, where there is no other committee, we have taken help of forest protection committee. And some very small urban local bodies, Nagar Panchayats. So that is the structure of shops we are running. Upward linkage. What used to happen earlier, we were growing rice, but it was not being procured properly. Most of the time we were getting rice from Punjab. And the Chhattisgarhi people, they were not liking the taste of Punjab rice. They said, ye lore ka chawal hai. They never liked it. So, the best thing is we have done an upward linkage by procuring it locally, decentralized. We got a status of decentralized procurement. What is decentralized procurement? All the jobs of FCI will be done by us. FCI has no role to play in procurement operations. We only give them the excess stuff. Like if we produce 36 lakh tons of rice in the state, we are the third largest contributor to the central pool in the country after Andhra Pradesh and Punjab. We require only 12 lakh tons. So for every 3 bags, 1 bag we use in our state, 2 bags we give to FCI to send it to Jharkhand, West Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra, Gujarat, etc. So we became a decentralized procurement state that helped us in getting rice in time. And you see the effect of it. Our production and our procurement has gone almost 4 times. And this has also helped in adequate availability all the time, and it has also helped the rural economy grow robust. The second step was availability and doorstep delivery. See, it's very important that a poor person gets his entitlements in the first week or up to the 10th of the month. After 10th, most of the poor people do not have money to buy these stuffs. So our effort is that by 6th, all the fair price shops should be stocked with whatever commodities they have to supply during the month. In fact, by the 1st of the month, we try that for the next month, they should be stocked with their commodities. Then the supplies to these shops was given to private hands. That also we took back, and we have a civil supplies corporation through their own trucks. 750 trucks are pressed into operation every month between the 20th and the 6th of the next month, and all the stuff is sent to these 10,800 shops through our civil supplies corporation trucks. And why so? Once a commodity reaches the village, then those villagers do not allow them to pilfer it. It's only before it reaches the villages that you can do any hanky-panky. After it reaches the villages, it is not possible. So that we have ensured, and the pilferages have therefore reduced substantially. Now, on the strengthening of the infrastructure side, we did not have the right kind of godowns. Most of the PDS shops were kacha also. So we pooled our finances from various schemes. There are n number of schemes now. Finance Commission, Integrated Action Plan for Naxalite Areas, Backward Region Grant Fund, Tribal Development Authority. So the food department went around and requested everybody, and we got a lot of funds. And these kind of shops were made. Already we have made some 4,000 shops. Another 1,800 are under construction, and I am sure in another 1 year, all our 10,800 shops will have buildings. We also supplied them with drums like this, with a capacity of 3,000 to 4,000 liters, so that we do not lapse our quota of kerosene. 1 crore and 55 lakh liters of kerosene has to be supplied. Earlier we were lapsing as much as 1/3 of it, because these shops did not have adequate storage. The trucks would reach there, they had no barrels, they were all broken, so the trucks would come back, giving them half this thing, and half was decanted at the petrol pumps. Now not even a liter has lapsed in the last 3 years. Secondly, warehousing is a very, very important portion. And the biggest constraint in warehousing is availability of land. Our cabinet went out of way to decide that the collectors will have full powers. Wherever the state warehousing corporation selects a land, the land is theirs. The collector has to give them that land, and that too at a reduced price. With the result that our godowning capacity is constantly increasing. It was 5 lakh tons in the last 50 years. Now it is almost 7 lakhs, and it's going to rise to 9 lakhs in another 1 or 2 years. The distribution centers. You see, as B.C. Gupta Sahab just told you, from the FCI godowns or the huge godowns that they are, we have to bring them to the PDS distribution centers. Those are smaller godowns of 1,800 tons or 3,600 tons. From there, the fair price shops have to be given their stocks. We have a target of opening it in each of the development blocks. Earlier there were just about 76 distribution centers. We have increased it to 119 and we are increasing them every month. Very shortly we will have all 146 godowns in all 146 block headquarters. Now, as I said, it was not possible for a person to run a shop honestly if he really wanted to. And nobody is doing anything for a charity. So the state government had to take some steps to make the running of a shop viable. For that, we revised their commission. If you sold 1 quintal of food grain earlier, the commission given was just 8 rupees. 8 rupees and the empty bag which costs about 10 rupees, that's all. So the shopkeeper was getting 18 rupees for selling 1 quintal. That 8 rupees has been increased to 30 rupees now. And we have also given them interest-free loan up to 75,000 rupees to each shop so that they don't have to be an interest burden, and every month we are recovering 200 rupees from them. That is how we have increased their profit from running a shop, an average size shop, from 700 rupees to 4,000 rupees. You see, to say that computerization should be done, computerization per se will not help. 75% of the work is backroom work. You have to make all preparations. Only when the platform is ready for technological intervention, then you should start. A PDS which is in a disarray, even if you computerize, will not help. So all these things had to be done. After that, the stage was set for technological intervention. And these are the process reforms. These 8 kind of process reforms we have done after having done setting our house in order. These 8 technological interventions have been done. I will come to them one by one very shortly. The first one was about the ration cards. You see, what was the habit earlier? Every municipal corporation was printing its own ration cards. If somebody is not paying property tax, they will print new ration cards. They will say the old ration cards are no more in use. Now you come to get the new ration cards. Have you paid the property tax? If you have not paid, you will not get the ration card. So that was a tool to recover their taxes. This was done by the municipalities, this was done by the Jilla Panchayat, so we banned it totally. It will be centralized printing and the Directorate of Food will issue it, and it will have a hologram and a barcode. This is the hologram and a barcode. So this first page was printed centrally at Raipur in the government printing press, and the rest of the book, they pasted this page on the book, and it was all brought on the database which later we put on the web that I will come to later. And when we distributed these ration cards, after we printed them and distributed in the Gram Sabhas and in the Ward Sabhas, we found that 2.8 lakh people did not turn up to come. So in one stroke, we removed 2.8 lakh ration cards which were actually ghost ration cards. Now second, this is also very important. After having put everything, you can also, any one of you can open the website, and in any district of Chhattisgarh you open, and then you ask which are the number of shops, it will come on the web. You open that shop, you will find out how many people are and their names are beneficiaries of this shop. So it is all on the web. What now we have to do? Earlier what was happening, whatever is the allotment which comes from Government of India, the Director of Food will issue to all the collectors. It will take 7 days. Then collectors will send it to the SDMs, another 7 days. Then SDM, whichever shopkeeper, he likes them or does not like them, and he will change and temper their allotments. Now all that is not possible. First of the month we know this is the shop, it has so many ration cards, and our allocation is 35 kg per person, 1.3 kg of sugar. Just by one click of computer, we give the allotment. It is on the web, and you will be surprised. All the 10,800 shopkeepers, they open the web on the first. They know what is their allocation because we deduct whatever has been left out in the last month. If they have to be given 200 bags of sugar, say rice, 10 bags were left out. So we will give them only 190. Computer will give only 190 bags, and like accordingly for other commodities also. And then multiplied by that amount, the draft also. So the shopkeeper knows on the first of the month how much money is worth draft he has to make and deposit at the distribution center by the 15th of the month. So what was being done in 14 days is now being done in 14 seconds. And everybody opens and finds out. So there is no delay or no chance of any graph in getting more allotment. That is another reform we have done. Third is every shopkeeper, we ask them by the end of the month, we gave you 200 bags of rice or so many bags of sugar, etc., etc. How much have you sold? What is left with you? Well, normally if you don't ask them, whatever is left becomes their own property. So he has to make a declaration that this much is left. And definitely there is a chance of corruption in that because he may like to corner it. So what is our food inspector's job? Their job is that if a food inspector has 100 shops in his area, at random 30 shops, he has to make an inspection every month and to find out as to how much is really left out. And we have also developed a food inspector's module. Our food inspector, although we have not been able to give them laptops, it is on the way. Our finance department has not agreed. Very soon you will find all our food inspectors roaming around with laptops. But they are making use of the desktop computers in the block headquarters or in our PDS godowns. And there they make an entry every month. 100 shops in my area, I have inspected 30 shops, and I have found that this is the declaration, these are the quantum of things left out. So this is very, very important. So this we monitor every month at the central server in our directorate. Now, as I said, there are distribution centers, and from where the 10,800 shops are given rations regularly. They are also connected through VSETs. Now that VSET, we had a lease with BSNL for the last 3 years, that lease has come to an end. Now we are trying to use data cards somewhere, and some places the network has also improved. But still VSET is our main source of communication in these places. We from here also have a real-time inventory. My MD of State Warehousing Corporation sitting at Raipur knows that in all 109 centers, what is the stock left with him. And this stock is lying for the last 1 year, this stock is lying for the last 6 months. So first in, first out, whichever has come first, this stack should be given first. And from here we also come to know how much stock has been released to a shop. If a shop has to get 200 bags, in the first tranche it has got 100 bags, the computer will show it that 100 bags have been sent. And a computerized receipt is also generated here. Now, the third is, if a truck starts from this center for a particular shop, that so much of like a typical, this thing will look like this: 198 quintals of rice, 7.12 quintals of sugar, 10.9 quintals of salt has started on such and such date by truck number so and so at time 3:49 in the afternoon. Now, as soon as the truck leaves the warehouse and there is a click of button for the truck challan, because without the truck challan the truck cannot go outside the campus. As soon as there is a click, automatically our server will generate SMS. And if you are a resident of that village, or if you are a sarpanch of that village, or if you are a Nigrani Samiti Sadasya of that village, or anything, if you are a Patrakar of that village, you will get SMS free. So far we have generated more than 2. Sitting here in Delhi, I request you all, you get registered free of cost at our website. This is cg.nic.in/citizen. For any of the 10,800 shops, every month you will get free SMS, whether you are here in America, wherever, you will get SMS. The truck number so and so has started from this godown at such and such time with this stock. Whichever officers from Government of India have got registered, they keep getting messages every month. So this works very well, and therefore when the truck starts, the people in the village already, at least 10 people in the village already know that this truck started at 3:49, it's already 5:30, why has it not reached? So there are people waiting for the truck. This system is also working very well. And at the time of loading, we make a panchnama also. This is how a delivery challan looks like. Just I wanted you to see. Now, we have also now made a GPS-based PDS truck tracking system, and in 6 districts as a pilot scheme we have started this, by which we have ring fence. We are trying to ring fence. If a truck starts from a particular godown, we know that this is the place for godown and the shop is there. Now, if the truck diverts from the route, automatically there is an alarm on the central server that the truck has diverted. The truck has to form a particular route, and we have ring fenced it on the computer. So this is also we are trying. Also we are trying through GPS and GPRS. If truck is sent from one surplus area to a tribal deficit area in truck, many a times these trucks used to elope. The drivers will run away. So when a truck starts and it reaches, through GPRS, the godown in charge has to take a photograph. Automatically through GPRS, it will come to the server with latitude and longitude and the timing at what time the truck has reached the godown of destination. This has also been started on a pilot basis. Now, for transparency and community participation, these are the steps we are taking. All the trucks which are moving the PDS commodities, we have colored them dark yellow. So if they are seen in dubious areas, people can always give us a call. Because there is a call center where you can call for free, and whatever grievance is there, once you make a phone and he gives you a number, your number is 43. After that you don't have to ring them. On the web itself, you will keep finding, now your complaint has reached collector of Durg. Second stage, the collector Durg has appointed an inquiry officer. That stage will also be shown on the web. The reporting officer has submitted report to the collector. That is the third stage which will come on the web. You need not ask. And what action has been taken will also come on the fourth stage. So you need not ring up the helpline again and again. Only on the, once you have the number, on the web you can find out what happened to your complaint. And this is the status of the complaints we have got so far and the actions that we have taken. Many shops have been cancelled and much of food grain has been confiscated, worth about 4 million, etc. Now this is our